All right, so today we are setting up an Arma 3 server using the faster server manager. I have this set up on a kind of terrible Alienware laptop, i7-6700 with 16 gigs of DDR4 and a 970 mobile. So you don't need anything super fancy. It runs okay. Much better than using a local hosted game. So first things you're going to set up, I believe it makes you do this as you set up faster when you first install it, is your mod staging. Now this is a kind of, as the name implies, it is a place where it is going to download the mods to begin with. Now I did have some issues with getting my mod staging folder to work. It did not, as you can see here, it does not like to update my mods for some reason. It might be because this is a blank Steam profile that doesn't own anything. I'm not entirely sure. Which I do not have loaded. When you have Steam running with faster and you try to launch your server, you may run into an issue where Steam will fail to verify when you try to launch the server. So I have Steam closed. Now you can come into your mods, and you can import your mods. Either you can put in the URL here, or I went through and used the Arma 3 launcher file. So where do I have Arma 3? That is in your mods. You have your mods selected and export list of mods to file. And then you just copy that onto your drive. As you can see, I've got my two computers running here using Parsec to VM in. So once that's done, you'll want to deploy the mods once they're all up to date. Now, like I said, I had issues getting it to update them, and I ended up manually moving the mod files from my computer to the server. Once that's done, deploying them puts them in your Steam Apps common Arma 3 server file with their name, your mod file name, because Arma 3 doesn't use the mods folder thing anymore. Next step, you'll want to create a profile. It'll just have you name a profile. So new profile, creates a blank profile for you, and you can select your mods. And then you can copy your mods by right clicking on the name up here. So if I wanted my Headless Client to run those mods, I can copy from client. I can have my server do the same thing, or I can copy it from the Headless. All of that. I haven't messed with any of this or any of this because I only own Contact, but none of my friends do, so there's no reason in loading it. So this is my Antistasi Plus profile. You have your server file pointed just to your Arma 3 server directory. Select your mods. And then we get into our mission settings. Now, you can see I have mission selector override set up by default. So if we come back over here to profile, it won't be in that. You'll select your mission file. The reason I have mission selector override set up is because, as you can see here, it just pulls in my mission file. But with Antistasi Plus, at least, in order to change your parameters, you have to put those in your server config, and this is essentially your server config. Now, to get the information I needed in order to set this up, I ended up needing PBO Manager. And you come into your multiplayer mission, and you can either extract the whole thing, or you can open it. And all you need is you need to come in here, click on the little plus, you want the mission description, you want params.hpp. And then I extracted that to my desktop for ease of access. I'm going to open that with Notepad++ because that's what I'm using to write the stuff for this, the code. And you're going to grab whatever class parameter you want to change. And what I did was I copied this blank missions class here. Okay. Made a new file because it was easier to copy and paste things. And then you need to add in your class params. I think I grabbed this off of a website somewhere. You need your class params. How's that set up there? That's class params. And then you want to copy whatever parameter it is that you need out of your params.hpp. Paste it there. One space equals, and then whatever you want that parameter to be. So for my case, I don't want team kill punishing on because me and my friends like to kill each other for no random or for no good reason. And then you'll put in your number there. And once you've done all of that, you'll end up with something that looks a bit like this. And you can set your, all of your params in your param.hpp. So don't allow PvP. This allows you to join in Antistasi. This allows you to join enemy factions. We don't want that because there's 3 of us. AI skill, I did not set through, because I don't believe they're set through here. I found that if I tried to use this instead of using Faster's AI skill and precision, it caused problems for us. It wouldn't let me launch the server. So you can take whatever you want out of this class or out of your params.hpp. This is for joining the other enemy factions. So if you wanted to unlock ammo for your standard magazines, you just take that, you copy, and you paste it in here. And then whatever you want that to be. So if you don't want it, you say no, you put a 0. You can set your factions. I don't have any of this set because we had problems with Cup. So we just have everything set to default factions, all of that. Unflip a vehicle. Like I said, there's 3 of us at best. Usually it's 1 or 2 of us. So, unflip person count, we modified that here. Once you've done that, copied and pasted it all back into my mission override. And that's it. You can set up your persistent battlefield so that when you leave the server continues running and, you get completely decimated in Antistasi. And you can change your other settings here. Another one that I did change manually was waypoints. I wanted to be able to always have my, say, shift click waypoint showing up. For some reason, for me, this might be something that I messed up. The waypoints here, it just kept fading. So I've got that manually set. Same with the friendly tags. They wouldn't show up, so I have that manually set. In your server tab here at the top, you can name your server, put in a password, you can put in an admin password to use the pound login command. That did not work for me. I had to put my Steam admin IDs here. I believe you need this one. I think that's the hex ID. I have both there because without both of them, it wouldn't let me log in. BattleEye, voice over net settings, permissions. I don't have logging set up. I don't have any scripting. I do have headless clients. Now, for headless clients, I did run into a problem where I kept getting an error message upon launching the server that said it could not verify Steam for the headless client. I'm not entirely sure what I changed to make it work, but it seems that having BattleEye running and having no clients file patching seems to let my headless client launch. In performance, I haven't changed anything. I don't need that right now. I don't know what any of this does, so I haven't changed any of it. Hyper-threading's on by default. I haven't changed anything. When you go to launch, you will need to save your profile. So if I come down here to profile and I try to launch it, it will tell me that that profile does not exist in the game files and that I need to save it. Once you've saved it, you click launch. I'm not going to launch this one because it's not set up. I am going to delete it. You can also clone your server profile. So if you wanted to use the same mods or settings or whatever, and you just wanted to change one thing, makes it pretty easy to do that. Now that I have all this set up and I've got my profile saved and I have my mods deployed, it will allow me to save. If you don't deploy the mods, it won't let you to save. I don't know if I said that or not. I probably did. This program, either because I'm using Parsec or because it's an ARMA coded program, doesn't necessarily load the fastest all the time. So sometimes it hangs between your different options. But once we click play, it will launch the server. It is going to launch 2 instances for me because I have the server launching and a headless client. This debunks the theory that you need to own another copy of ARMA 3 in order to run a headless client. It is included in the server files. I don't know if that was an old specification or not, but it is no longer required. As you can see, my dedicated client is launching, as well as my server's launched and my headless client is connected.